welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know, like, I'm tired today. Whew. There's a few things I want to cover. I'm on a little early today. Around and everything to do. So, might as well come on in. Might even take you on some of my running around and that. And plus, I work today. So that's the other thing. Whew. So, what is happening today? Well, the moon's going to look like it's still full for the next couple days. And it's just going to give you that I'm going to say just going to allow you to just sort of see that fullness, but I feel like there's still, because where its placement is, and then there's a quincunx over to Mercury, and as Mercury is going to be stationary going direct on the 25th, this is where it's going to feel there's still some hidden agendas going on. And we also have Pluto, which is going to come up really fast, and Pluto is going to be stationary going retrograde, right? Feeling teary and emotional today. Yeah, it is that kind of day. I mean, the moon is still very intense in that intensity and trying to bring forth stability. And I mean, I'm usually really good when I sleep. Like when I go to sleep, I'm usually really good. But last night, just the craziest dreams. My mother's been coming in my dreams a lot lately. And just going through some sort of like, even in there, it was like an emotional craziness within the dream. And then this raven flew out at me from around the corner. But I could see in the distance in this alleyway, but it was this light was shining on a bunch of seagulls that were sitting there. And just looking at some of the readings for that, it just has to do with spiritual essence, and it had to do with some wisdom, secrets, bravery, things along that line. It was just a very bizarre dream, very bizarre. I don't know, dreams can be very bizarre anyways. So this is, even with where Uranus is and where it was in 1941, we got to think that everything didn't go smoothly after 1941. I mean, there were some crazy hidden agendas that were there. And it's, that's where part of the of amphetamines and opiates really started to come out quite intensely during World War II. There was the addiction. That the other reason why prohibition ended up stopping as well was because of the war. And when you have things like war, they want you to drink. They want you to take drugs, right? In Syria, I think it is, right now, they've had reports of men, even after they're shot, just still having the adrenaline in them, because there's a huge opiate crisis there. And it started when the Americans came in, and the Americans were in Afghanistan. So they have somewhat of, well, they do, they're talking about having a crisis there, which is, and they never had drugs there before, not to the extent. They probably did. I won't say they didn't, but I bet you they didn't have it to the extent that it's happening there. So a lot of things that are hidden that are going to be revealed to themselves. I mean, the V2 rocket that Hitler tried to create, it was the Americans who ended up taking it and creating it, because they took all the German scientists, right? And started doing the research, and the Manhattan espionage, or whatever you want to call it, was going on too. So there's, it's really to watch out for Trojan horses, like things that you think are really fabulous and great within this energy that's coming forth. I mean, not everything's going to look good, and look for your Trojan horses that you're putting through, right? That's the other thing. So don't be so quick to praise. Don't be so quick to jump on the bandwagon with things. Big warning there, because it might seem like a good thing to do, might seem like the right thing, but seeing how, things are being appraised and appraising the situation, is it worth it? If you've ever watched Pawn Stars, not porn stars, Pawn Stars. If you ever watch them, and people bring in their items and they have an idea how much they think it's worth, but they come in and they'll have their experts come in and say, well, it's only worth X amount. So they're gonna, of course, not give you that amount, because they have to make money off of the damn thing. But this is where it's like looking at, what are you appraising at, and maybe what is the truth of that appraisal? Is it really worth the amount that you think it is? Or maybe you're undercutting yourself for what it is. So really being aware of things along that line as we go forward. Um, it is a spiritual, there is a spiritual essence of it. And I feel like there's quite an adrenaline rush. People are wanting to get that adrenaline rush, wanting to get, I want to go and do it now. I want to get things going now, kind of thing. And yeah, this is where it's like really being cautious, I guess, and just sometimes waiting it out. And I think also the overwhelmness, as Lexi says, very emotional and teary today. And yeah, there is that balance that we're trying to bring in within it. I mean, we are I feel like we are going through quite a catapult of transformation, and it's not easy, and there's still so much that we have to do within our own lives, and um create, within our own lives. Just switching the topic a bit here. I posted out a TikTok, and on the TikTok it was these two little ladies, two ladies, old ladies, and they're talking. This one was talking about that she posted that it would be a good thing to go rob a store and get arrested. Like, go rob a store, go in there with your cane, smack them with your cane, so you can get arrested. Because instead of going to a retirement home, and then if you can get a 10-year sentence, I mean, everything's paid for. She goes, you get everything. You get your 3 meals a day. You can get out and get exercise. Um, you know, family can come visit. And I mean, you're really not going anywhere anyway. So, and you also get all your prescriptions and medical all paid for. And then she posted a woman, I guess, went out and robbed a bank, a senior, and a 71-year-old woman went out and robbed a bank, and at gunpoint, and she congratulated her on it. I thought it was funny. But I think desperation is there. I think that's the other thing, is like a lot of people are feeling very desperate with um with many situations in their life. And I get, I my mind goes down to deep ends at times, where, with different scenarios, and it's really a constant thing for me to constantly bring myself up to make sure I do my gratitudes and my prayers, being aware of what I grab in the morning and what I do. I'm not grabbing my phone to look at TikTok or go through reels. That's not what I grab and do in the morning. I make sure I have affirmations and everything as I'm going into the bathroom in the morning and getting myself ready for the day. Um, affirmations and gratitudes going and things like that, to help me to get through the day, and doing, silent prayer. And the whole thing takes me a good, because I'm doing it as I get up in the morning, all the way through to making the coffee and everything else. I have this going, and it just helps to set the tone for the day. Helps to set the tone for the day, even when my mind is going 1,000 miles, in different directions. And the desperate feeling. And my thought was like, because I I only work 2 days a week, but it's like, oh my God, I got this payment. Oh my, I got this, and I got this, and I got this, and I got this. And you get feeling very, you know, very desperate, very overwhelmed. And, oh shit, I should be here, I should be there, that shoulda, coulda feeling. And it's just allowing yourself to take that time to breathe and say, okay, I'm going to be fine. I am where I am. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, even though it doesn't feel that way. So there is this book, two Buddhas seated side by side, a guide to the Lotus Sutra. This book here. A man at a couple weekends ago gave this to me. He came for a reading. I don't think he needed a reading. He just felt like he needed to come talk to me. And I'm just going to pull something out and see what happens. Like, I don't know if you've ever do this, but oh, huh. Well, the page I pulled it to, I guess he was in the Saskatchewan Health City Hospital. Has his license plate number. What year was this? Anyways, that's July 26th, might have been last year. I don't know. Anyways, why am I looking at that? As discussed earlier, 5 deeds called deeds of immediate retribution cause one to be reborn in Avicii immediately after death. They are also known as the 5 heinous offenses. These 5 offenses are killing one's father, makes sense. Killing one's mother, yeah. Killing an arhat, which I'm not sure what it is. Wounding a Buddha and causing dissension in the monastery community. Devadatta committed 4 and the 5th of these offenses when the nun man, I pick out something, I got to really read it. Uttapalavina had berated Devati for his evil conduct. He beat her to death because she was an arhat, and he was also guilty of the 3rd offense. This guy's a badass. The story of the Devadatta is quite famous, and the author of the Lotus Sutra would have known it well, making the chapter 12 even more remarkable. The Buddha says that in a past life, a king tirelessly sought the Maharani, renouncing the throne to find it. The sage came and told the king that he possessed the Mahahari teachings and called the Lotus Sutra, and would expound it to him if the king would promise to obey him. The king joyfully accepted, becoming his servant. The king served the sage for 1,000 years, gathering firewood and collecting water. He never tired in either body or mind. The Buddha explained that in a lifetime he was the king of the Devavati and was the sage. The Buddha declares that it is due to the Devavati virtuous friendship that he eventually became a Buddha. He then makes a prophecy of the Devavati own future Buddhahood, predicting the name he will bear and the length of his lifespan. The sutra makes no mention of the Devavati crimes or his punishment in Avicii hell. The Buddha concludes by saying that anyone in the future who hears the Devavati chapter of the Lotus Sutra and accepts it with a pure heart will never be reborn as an animal, as a ghost, or in hell, but will be reborn in the presence of Buddha. Wow. Makes you think. He does such horrible crimes, yet he finds the sutra, the Lotus Sutra, and I guess gets forgiven, gets healed. I just pulled this out here. Just for shits and giggles, I guess. Yeah, quite deep though. I mean, when you start thinking about it and thinking about, because I don't know much about Buddhism. I know some, I don't know a lot. But that's interesting. So looking at the crimes and everything that person, all of the horrible things that he committed, that he ends up being redeemed. That, Augustine is another one, Saint Augustine. Of course, I know that one. Saint Augustine is one of the founders of the church. A lot of things based on the church are from Saint Augustine. But he went out and he did debauchery and gambled and did some horrific things before he turned himself over to really uh, following God. And I think that's I think in this that sometimes we do some crazy shit and we beat ourselves up about the crazy shit. Sometimes we have the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and we beat ourselves up about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Yet, if we look at all the really beautiful things that we do and that we take each day as a new day and we start each day as a new day so that we can step into the light and do it to the best of our knowledge, do it to the best that we can, and honor ourselves with doing that each and every day. I think that brings us a little closer to the light that we are supposed to be doing. So, on that, there's this book. I think I showed you this book before. And this book is on human design and working the human design. Now, I don't know if any of you do human design, but I thought what I wanted to start doing is working this book with you guys, if you are interested, and then going through this book with you guys. Yeah, because I'm drawn to this. I'm not drawn to the I like the mantras and stuff, but I find, yeah, I think that the two Buddha one, it's a book that I really have to sit and kind of meditate and think about. And it's very, whew, there's there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Yeah. Yeah. So trying to navigate and going through and navigating our design and where we are wanting to go to. Today, sounds interesting. Yeah. Um, Today, I think it's just sort of a ho hum kind of day. I do have, having to work, and I didn't work last week because they didn't want me in last week because they said it was too slow. But every night is so fucking slow. I mean, I'm blessed. I'm thankful for having it, but yeah. Well, at least I guess I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid to be there, so not a lot, but I am. So I don't know. Yeah, if you I'm just like, yeah, tells you I'm not all with it today. And I'm gonna admit that. Feeling, feeling, as Lexi was saying, feeling a little bit, having those desperate feelings. And I just wanted to share that with you because I mean, sometimes you don't or you may not think that I do, but having those desperate feelings of how we're going to get through everything, right? And it's funny, it's like, when the money comes in or the check comes in, you're like, yeah. But when, for me, it's like, yeah, but all of these things I have to do or pay, and there isn't a whole heck of a lot left, or if there's anything left over, right? And I feel that this is the way, a lot of people are feeling right now. They're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and desperate. I think if you're working and you're doing well with your work, to be thankful. Everyone does have, of course, the bills and everything. Everything has gone up for everybody, to survive. And I feel, I see, and I sometimes, because I look, and with some people, I feel like they don't realize how lucky they got it, right? And how lucky they really have what they have, and that they still have the years to work. and having those years to work. And that's the time to solidify and make sure that you are doing what you need to do in order to create a better future and for yourself. So I don't think everybody sees that. But anyways, so tomorrow I'm going to start working with the human design. And we're going to do some of the human design. We're going to go through chapter 1, and we're going to talk about chapter 1. And chapter 1 is navigating your chart. So this is where with human design is to help you make more money, get healthier, and have a better relationship. So, and human design is different from other promises that you've heard of. One of the things that it says here, what I can promise is that we are not all created the same. And human design shows us there are 5 energy types. When I discovered human design, it kind of changed a lot for me, because it made me really see, because I'm a projector, that, I have one girlfriend that she just like, oh, you know what? I really want a red car. I want this red car. I want this, and blah, 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 blah. Within a month, she has a red car, right? She's driving it. This is a woman who says, oh, you know what? I really want to find somebody and travel through Europe and have a romantic time. And she finds somebody and she goes through Europe and has a romantic time. Not saying there's a lot of aftermath with her as well. So she's, got a little bit of the both. Not everything's peachy keen with her. But, when I see that, and it's like, well, hold on, I'm doing the exact same thing she is, and it's not happening. The frustration comes in. And understanding being a projector, my energy system works differently than hers. And that's what I found when I looked at a lot of the manifesting courses, because they were directed that, well, you just do this, and you're sure to make your $30,000 sale. And it's like, holy crap. And some of these women that were doing it, of course, they can work on 4 hours sleep, or they can work on, at 2:00 in the morning and do their thing and stuff. Like, I can't. Like, that's one of the things about projectors. Projectors need their sleep. They need to regenerate. They have to recoup their energies, and understanding that. So that's one of the reasons why I want to do this. It's like, give people a little bit of an understanding on where they are energetically. And, sometimes they're very good. If somebody's a manifestor generator, yeah, they can have a shit show for a life, because they have all of this and they're just plowing through shit, not, taking, looking at it. People can be a manifestor that can just manifest things and things come to be, both good and bad. And same with the director. And then there's the reflectors that really have to follow and pay attention to the moon phases and pay attention to what they're doing in order for them to create their world. So we are going to be setting the stage tomorrow and learning how to navigate through this. And we're going to start on with chapter 1 and going through chapter 1 and talking about the different, the centers, the 9 centers, and also the different pressure centers as well. So this is going to be, a good review for me, good help for me. And really, I think this is going to help all of us understand our own energies a little bit more. So, yeah. So there you go. Give me something to talk about, and just putting that energy out there into the cosmos. Next Monday, we start the astrology for May. So if you're wanting to join me, it is going to be 4 Mondays. I'm going to be sending out an email today and confirming with everybody who is registered. And also Journey Club starts the following, or on the Tuesday, and it's for 4 Tuesdays, and I'll be sending out an email with that one as well. So there you go. You guys have a fabulous, fabulous day. May the Lord Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. Yeah, kind of out of sorts kind of day. Just go with it. Have a blessed one, everybody. And we'll talk to you all tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye-bye.